I can't believe Zali Steggall, the member for Warringah, of course, after bringing the wind turbines to her part of Australia and fixing energy on the northern beaches of Sydney, has she even got the electric car? Or remember when she was telling us she couldn't because the kids were too big and couldn't sit in it? Okay. She now says that the way to get people to wear masks is to not charge GST on those masks. Media ran with this. Television ran with this. Radio ran with this bullshit. James Paterson, like, seriously, now look, if we want to get rid of it, fine, okay, cool. But I do not believe it to be the determinant factor about whether somebody will wear the mask or not. Now, sure, 10% on top of the $75 if you're buying 100 of them, but 75 cents on top, you know, come on. I don't believe that is the reason somebody's not wearing a mask.
Exactly right, Paul. This is a deeply unserious suggestion from a deeply unserious person who is not at all a serious politician. You can get a reusable mask for about $10. So we're really saying for the sake of $1 marginal cost, people are not buying it. And as you said, a disposable mask will set you back individually about 50 cents. So for the sake of 5 cents, are we really saying people are being discouraged from wearing a mask? I cannot believe that the media entertained this idea for anything other than the vacuous thought bubble that it was.
But and that's my thing, Liz, right? So, okay, you remember the fight way back when, right? Previous iteration of Advance Australia, but very involved in Warringah, right? Mm-hmm. So I get how she was the media darling, right? So I would have expected this to turn up as sort of, you know, the something to talk about with Auntie Fran on Radio National. Channel 9 ran this. Yeah. Channel 9 ran her as a serious option here? Come on.
Yeah, well, it's mainstream media giving another lefty a leg up. As we've said, name one person who wants to wear a mask but isn't because of that 10%, you know, when they're suffering. This article was talking about if you spend $15 on a mask, that's $1.36 in GST. Who's spending $15 on a mask anyway when there's a billion YouTube clips showing you how to make them out of everything from a sock to the carcass of a dead baby badger? It's just utterly ridiculous. Treasurer Frydenberg has already said they're tax deductible if they're for work purposes. I think that's more than decent. This is just another try-hard attempt by a lefty to claw some relevance.
Well, and it works because the thing, because straight away these sorts of ideas. So this is what I love, right? Is that, you know, James McGrath, you had an inquiry into Holden leaving, right? We talked about this before. Virtually no media interested in covering it, serious consequences around all of this. This person just sort of, you know, leans on a couple of mates inside sort of the news world and bang, she's on the 6 p.m. news. I mean, the selectiveness with which some people's issues are brought to the front of the queue versus others which are, yeah, thanks very much for that detailed hearing. Thank you for the report, but we won't even bother opening it.
I'd forgotten that Zali Steggall was around. I'd forgotten that she was a politician until this story popped up today. And it just shows her lack of relevance. You know, she is a de facto Labor member down there in Warringah. And it does show that the media do pick and choose. You know, serious issues to do with General Motors retiring the Holden brand, serious issues to do with how Holden dealers are being dealt with, and barely a ripple in the mainstream media. And don't get me going, for example, on Paradise Dam, the largest infrastructure fail in this country's history. And do you think it's been run on any of the main news stations? No, it's only on channels like Sky that Paradise gets a run.
Well, that's why, particularly Sky News on Win is so powerful and pisses them off so deeply, particularly in and around Queensland politics. All right.